Hi everyone, I'm the investigation captain Gold Investigator. Recently, I've heard some investigators complain that they've encountered outrageous violations during their reviews. Well, I'm curious to see just how outrageous these violations truly are. After ending an intense battle, this player is currently restoring their status,
Watch out!
and their teammate's mark appeared not too far away. Should they go and provide assistance?
Nope.
Alright, it is indeed necessary to consider one's condition before deciding whether to engage in battle. Hold on, the enemy in the urban area hasn't even exposed themselves, right? Yet this player is able to mark his position so accurately. They've merely observed the entrance for a moment and is able to determine the enemy's location before eliminating them. What's more, there's more than one such victim. While traveling on the map, they seem to have locked onto another enemy far in the valley. Under normal circumstances, if we encounter an enemy while on the move, it'll take us some time before we can react. However, this player is able to flawlessly aim and shoot the moment the enemy is exposed. It is evident that they've made thorough preparations in advance, relying solely on their vision. It's impossible to achieve this level of performance without prior knowledge of the enemy's location. Based on these two outrageous violations, we concluded that this player has committed the following cheats. Investigators can determine similar violations based on obvious actions. Next up is a blind fire player. From my observations, it appears that they engaged in selective blind fire. They ignore enemies passing by them, but will unleash heavy fire on enemies outside walls with no line of sight. Even in a spray and pray situation, they manage to accurately hit vehicles at extremely long distances. More than once. Furthermore, when he was in a vehicle with his teammates, he would indiscriminately attack in the airdrop direction.
Hey bro, isn't it too early to go for the airdrop now?
There's nobody near the airdrop, so what's he shooting at?
Based on this outrageous violation, we concluded that this player has committed the following cheat. Investigators can determine similar violations based on obvious actions. During the review process, investigators can actually determine the violations by observing the distance between the crosshair and the target. Take this violator for example. At first glance, it seems that the enemy was knocked down with only 1/3 of their body exposed. What great marksmanship. Not really. Although he was holding a shotgun, the enemy was clearly behind cover when he fired. Without aiming through the crosshair, nothing is shown on the network indicator in the bottom left of the video. With this, we can out any network delay causing issues with the crosshair. So, it's really suspicious that all 4 shots were headshots. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet, so let's keep watching. After switching to the Scar L, he starts aiming at enemies at medium range. Look, the crosshair is still away from the enemy, especially when firing, and it doesn't align with the target's body at all. Yet, this poor fella is eliminated. Next, we have the most outrageous one of all. He drives alone at high speed, and from a distance, you'll see an unsuspecting enemy near the edge of the mountain. Suddenly, he turns the car around and flies off the hillside. While in the air, he quickly switches to the back seat, pulls out his gun, rotates the camera, and starts shooting. With such precise headshots, the enemy is eliminated. Based on these 3 outrageous violations, we concluded that this player has committed the following cheats. Investigators can determine similar violations based on obvious actions. As everyone has mentioned, there are indeed some violations that can be determined at a glance. Even though outrageous violations are easy to identify, all investigators can also observe more closely and identify more violations. Players must also take note that if you encounter similarly outrageous violations in matches, don't forget to report them, and let us create a safe and fair gaming environment for all.